To better understand how Microsoft Fabric stands out, consider this example workflow where you need to ingest your data, store it, and transform it, and then finally generate some business insights from your data. So, in a traditional setup, you could see here you would need to use some existing tools. I have listed a few tools that are for each of these steps, right? You could see here that each step involves a different tool. Since each team would be using different tools and storing data in different formats, it would lead to data silos and require significant effort to integrate that data. Also, sharing your data across each of the tool would create multiple copies of data, and you would need to deal with separate interfaces, security policies, and workflows for each of these tools. But if you consider the same scenario with Microsoft Fabric, you can see how, by utilizing each of the workloads of Microsoft Fabric, you can perform each of these tasks. With Data Factory, Data Warehouse, and Data Engineering and Data Science workloads, you could perform all of these tasks. And the good thing is that now each of these steps can be done under one umbrella of Microsoft Fabric. And since all of these workloads are seamlessly integrated within Fabric, data is stored centrally within one lake. It won't create data silos. It would eliminate data silos and ensures a single consistent copy of your data. Also, you do not need to juggle between multiple tools. So it provides you a unified user experience where you can just once log in and perform all of these tasks within the platform of Microsoft Fabric. Also, regarding security and governance, so they are simplified with a unified model. It is applied across all of these workloads. With that, now let's dive into some hands-on demonstrations to see these concepts in action. In our exercise, we'll be utilizing bank customer journey data, and here is the workflow. Let me show you. Here is how the workflow of our exercise looks like. As the data source, we'll be utilizing blob storage, and for preparing and transformation part, we'll be following Microsoft's recommended approach for organizing data. This approach is called basically Medallion architecture, where we'll be storing our data into three layers. The first layer here is the bronze layer. So this is where you are going to store the raw data. And then in the silver layer, we have our cleansed data. Once we perform some transformations, we clean our data where we store it into the silver layer. And for the last layer, after performing grouping of your data and aggregation, once you have your process data set, you could store it into the gold layer. And from that, you could use it to perform any analysis or any data science task. So to implement this, we'll be using three separate lakehouses. The first one to store our data, our raw data. The second one to store our cleansed data, and the third one to store our processed data that is ready for analytics. So let me explain you this flow. First, we are gonna copy our data from blob storage into the first lake house. And then we'll use data flow to perform some basic transformations. And then we're gonna store that data into the second lake house. And then using notebook, we'll perform some more transformations. We'll process our data and store it into the gold lake house. So this is where your data can be accessed to be used for any of the purposes for creating ML model or for creating Power BI reports or any other tasks. It's time for live demonstration of our hands-on exercise. Let me switch over to Microsoft Fabric.